Hey guys, and happy Friday. So right now I am going to be doing an unboxing, I guess, of the stuff that I got for our Halloween boo box swap. And I got mine from Learn, and let's get started. So the first thing that I'm pulling out here, and this box is, full of stuff. So the first thing is this little treat bag, and it's got some little foam pumpkins on a stick here, as you can see. I'm just going to go through it real quick and just kind of pull everything out. There's a few of these little floral picks that have like Halloween decor on them. Some pumpkins here. Let's see. Some candles. Okay, got some spiders. These have the little clips on the back. And everything has glitter. Got this little wood sign. That's cute. I already have an idea for that. Got an idea for this one too. She sent me a little letter here, and look at all the glitter. Oh my goodness, so much glitter. There was so much glitter, guys. It was like a glitter bomb. Blew up in my living room. There was glitter everywhere. And let's see, even the tool had glitter on it, but this was really cute. It's black and it has like orange like spider webs on it, I think it is. A couple of these little twist tie thingies, another floral pick with more glitter. Let's see, some stickers. These are really cute. I love stickers, so that's always a plus for me. Let's see what else. Okay, one of these little boxes. And what are these? Oh, those little black, like little berry picks. And let's see here. Oh no, it's broken. Okay, so it's one of the glass candlesticks from the Dollar Tree. I might have another one of these in my stash. I'm not too sure. And then it's wrapped in one of these infinity scarves, and it has like the jack-o'-lantern face on there. And let's see what else is in here. Okay, it's one of these, what is it, a ceramic sugar skull. And, okay, some little lights. These are like Halloween lights. They have jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, like, on them. And I think that's everything that's in the box. So look at everything that was in there. There's so much stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but rest assured I'm going to be putting something together here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of talk about the collaboration that I'm a part of. It is the Boo Box Halloween collab, and I'm joined by these amazing ladies. So what we did was we each sent each other, one other person a box full of stuff, and we have to make some Halloween stuff with it. And I will have the link to the playlist in the description box. So be sure to check everyone out, just to see what we all sent and what we all did with what we got. So here's everything all over again. I did take out that candlestick and I didn't have another one on hand, so I'm just going to have to skip that one. I do have another little like candlestick that I'm going to use, so I guess we can kind of just say that's the replacement for it, but not really. I thought I had another one, but I don't generally pick those up because I just don't use them. And I'm trying to clean off there's some excess glitter and some pieces of the glass still left in the box. So I'm just trying to get those off of the table there. And all right, this is everything. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what I wanted to do first. So I went ahead and just grabbed something, and then I decided, you know what, this is the perfect one to start with because it has to dry the longest. So as I'm looking at everything, I'm kind of getting ideas here and there just to, I don't know, my brain starts to work when I start seeing things kind of in front of me. I start off with a really nice, clean, table or work area, and then it explodes. It explodes. So what I thought about for this one was I am just going to leave it, obviously, as a little coffin. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with some lightweight spackle. And I'm sorry again for the lighting, but because I keep changing the background, it keeps changing the lighting. So what I'm going to start off doing is just covering up all the little holes where the words are at. And I'm just using some masking tape just to cover it up and make a flat surface. So then what I'm going to do is just fill the whole thing in with spackle, and it's not going to be like super neat. It doesn't have to. I kind of want it to look like stone once I'm done with it. But I'm just going to go ahead and just start filling in the letters first, or like those spaces where the letters are first. And then, excuse me, I'm just going to go ahead and put like a layer over the whole sign. So everything's going to be covered up with this spackle, so it'll look like, like a stone tomb, I guess, is what it's going to end up looking like. So again, you can use anything. If you have like clay that you want to fill it in with, I mean, that may not work as well, but actually, if you have like air dry clay, that would actually probably work too. And then you can just get it the color you want. And I'm actually just going to leave it this color. So I'm going to finish that off, let that dry, and then I'm going to move on to the next piece. So when I saw this, I had two ideas, and I couldn't go with the first one because I didn't have everything that I needed. So I went ahead and went with this idea. Hopefully I can get what I need, and I have another one of these signs, and I can do that with that one. That sounded confusing. But anyway, so the first thing I'm going to do is just start cutting out the inside, like the die cut part of it. And I'm trying to cut it out as neatly as possible in case I want to use, the words in the little picture on the inside. I don't have an idea for those yet, but I don't want to break it just in case I decide I want to do something with it. So it was pretty easy. This wood is really soft. So I was just trying to be really careful. So I went ahead, took my box cutter, and just trimmed it all out. And then once I was done doing that, I just took my little hand sander and I just smoothed down like the inside of it, just to make sure there wasn't any, prickly wood splinters sticking out there. And I'm just going to put that other piece to the side because, like I said, I may use it. I'm not sure yet. But so I just went ahead, sanded it down, and I would highly recommend sanding it down because it is kind of jagged and there are splinters. So just go ahead, sand it down so you don't get any splinters. And again, it sands down really easily. If you're interested in this hand sander, guys, it's amazing. I love it. It's in my Amazon store. I will link that in the description down below. I love this thing. It comes with a few pieces, and you can also get it, excuse me, at like Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. But again, I'll link it in my description box in case you're interested. It's wonderful. It's great to have because it fits on your desk, and the sandpaper, you can get it in different, the coarseness. Is that the right? You can get different ones. So they're great. So once I'm done sanding all of this down, I decided that I was going to stain it at first. Then I decided that I wanted to paint it. So I went ahead and painted it black. I'm not going to show you me painting the whole thing. You know how to paint. So I just used the black Waverly or ink Waverly paint, painted that whole thing, put it to the side to dry, and moved on to my next one. So for this one, this is kind of my replacement for the candlestick. Kind of, sort of, but I got this at Target, the dollar spot. And I thought it'd be perfect to use with this little flower pick, the skull that's on that flower pick. I just pulled that off and then decided to just use that inside of the little dome there. What is it called? I always forget. Cloche. That's what it's called. So what I did was I just stuck it in there. There was a few spots that were not painted, so I just used whatever leftover paint I had on my paintbrush there and just kind of colored it in there. And then I was trying to see like what I could use to embellish it, just so that it wasn't just a black skull on the in the little cloche there. And I just couldn't think of what I wanted to use, so I was just trying different stuff. So I tried the spider, and that was just a little bit too much because the spider was a little bit too big for the skull, and I didn't think it was going to fit with the cloche over it, and it just didn't look right. And then I was just trying to see what I could pull off of there to use in there. And I decided to grab some of the leaves. At first I was going to use a flower, but that was way too big. So then I just decided to pull off some of the leaves. And at first I was just going to make it, like little leaves, hanging out the bottom of it. But then when I put it on there, it looked like a collar to like a you know, a cape or a jacket or something like that. So what I did was I decided to glue the two sides on, you know, the glue. Bleh. Let's try that again. I decided to glue the two pieces on the side so that it looked like the collar to a jacket. And then I cut off that extra piece because it just wasn't necessary. So I cut that off and it looks like he has on like a cape or something like that. I love it. I'll show you kind of an up close picture of it. I know it's kind of hard to see it right now, but when I take a picture of it, hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. And he fell off. So I'm trying to clean off the excess glitter because there's tons of it. Thank you, Learn. Thank you so much. So I was trying to clean off some of that. And then I was like, okay, what else can I put on here to kind of embellish it? So I pulled out the little berry picks and I just grabbed two of them out of the pick there. And I just stuck them into the styrofoam skull head. Just as, like I said, an embellishment, just to kind of add something to it so it wasn't just so plain. And it is a lot of black, so I probably should have used a different color, but I kind of liked that it was all black, you know, kind of subtle, but I don't know, I liked it. So I just kind of went with the whole black. And then I think what it was because the stand, the little candlestick thingy was orange. So I think that's kind of why I left everything black. I just liked the way that it looked, so I just left it like that. And so once I put it on there, I was like, it's missing something. It is kind of plain. So then I saw the little twist tie thingies that were in the pack, and I just kind of folded them up and twisted them up a little bit so that they look like little, I don't know, like little stems behind him or little, I don't know. You'll see here, I thought it looked good, and they're purple. So of course, you know, I had to add them in there somehow. And when you look at it, once everything is together, it looks like he has like little stems or like branches kind of coming out from behind him. So I thought it looked cute, and I thought it just added that little touch of color that it needed just to break up all that black in there. And then I just put the cover back on there. And then once that was done, I thought it just looked a little plain, you know, so I decided to take the scarf that she sent me and I just cut a strip of it off, and I just made like I do not know how to make bows. I am not a bow maker. I say this all the time. My bows suck. So I don't even try to make them anymore. This is what I did. I just cut a strip of it and I just kind of tied it around the base of the cloche or the little candlestick holder or whatever you want to call it. I just cut a strip, tied it around there, and it, you know, it matched because it was black and orange, and it just kind of gave it a little bit of an embellishment. Of course, if you're doing something like this, if you know how to make a bow, by all means, bow away. I do not know how to make a bow. Mine always look decrepit and weird, and so I just tied it on there and just kind of gave it a little bit of something, you know? All right, so then back to, and I'm sorry, I keep going like back and forth between DIYs because I was letting stuff dry and I'm just going with the flow here. So this is what you get. So then I'm taking is this tool? I think that's what it's called, tool. And I am going to cut a couple of pieces to fit the back of this little plaque here. And then I'm going to glue them to the back of it. And when I glued them, I was trying my very best to make sure like the spider webs kind of matched up so it didn't look like, so you couldn't see where they connected because the one piece was too small. So yeah, so I ended up cutting like one piece so that it matched the bottom piece. I hope that makes sense. You'll see here what I'm talking about in a second. So I put that first piece down, just took some hot glue, glued it on there, stretched it out a little bit. And then the top piece I put on there. And like I said, I matched up the two spider webs on the bottom with two spider webs on the top piece. And then I just glued everything down and kind of went through. And I didn't put any more glue on there. All I did was take the tip of the hot glue gun and kind of warm up the glue that was already there. And that worked out great. So then I'm just cutting off all the excess tulle fabric that is around it so that you can't see it from the front. And this is what it looks like so far. And like I said, you can't even see like where the two pieces of fabric meet. Then I just took one of those little spiders, clipped it onto one of the little pieces that's kind of sticking out there. And I thought that was cute. And I could have left it as is, but I had to use all this stuff up, so I decided to just start adding stuff to it. So I took one of the flowers from one of the picks, it's like the red rose, and I just took some hot glue, put it on the piece of the stem that was sticking out there, and stuck it into one of the little crevices, one of the little holes in the frame. And this kind of looks like a mirror or like a picture frame, so I really like it. Then I took two of these little squiggly pieces from the pick and just kind of added it behind the little rose, and I thought it looked cute. And I took the silver pumpkin from the pick and just hot glued it to the bottom of the frame there. Nothing spectacular, but I think everything just kind of went together, and I love the way it turned out. I think it's really cute. So I went ahead, just glued that on there. And then I was trying to add some more stuff to it, and I didn't know what to do. And then I grabbed the bag of the pumpkins, and I was going to use one of the pumpkins. And then I was like, ooh, I like this bag. So let's use the bag. So I told you I'm trying to use as much of the stuff that she sent me as possible. And I think I used everything. I'm pretty sure I used everything. So all I did was take the bag, and I used my Gorilla Glue gel glue. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And I just glued that onto the back, and then once I got to the top, I just kind of cut around it so that that top piece wasn't sticking out, and I think it looks so cute. So I'll show you that at the end. So now on to my sugar skull. I took some of these little black berries from the picks, and I cut off the stems, and then what I did was I took them and I hot glued them into the eye sockets of the sugar skull. And then that was the first thing I did. And guys, I don't really celebrate Halloween like that. I mean, you know, we'll give candy and the kids go trick-or-treating, but we don't really celebrate Halloween. So this was a challenge for me to do all these Halloween crafts. So I hope I did all right. I mean, I'm not, like I said, it's not my thing, but I think I did pretty stinking good. So I'm using the skull and I'm using the candles. The candles were melted together, but I was able to separate them. You know, it was kind of warm, so they were melted together. But I was luckily able to separate them. So all I'm going to do is light one of the candles, and I'm just going to let the wax melt over the sugar skull. I considered painting it, but I was like, I mean, it's a sugar skull. Everybody does that. So I just took the wax, and it looks like blood dripping down the skull. I thought it looked so cool. So I was actually enjoying this. This was pretty fun. So I just let it melt on there, and I just went all the way through. And this is what it looks like. I love it. I think it looks super cool. Here we go. Ta-da! I love it. So that's the other little DIY there. And then on to this little box. I didn't do a whole lot to this. I painted it black when I painted that frame. And I was sticking this battery operated candle in there. It was a little bit too big, but I still wanted it to be lit. So what I'm going to do is just sit the candle in there, put that to the side, start working on something else. So I'm pulling out letters. I have all these little wood letters that I've collected from Dollar Tree and thrift stores and wherever. And I'm looking for the letters RIP because that's what's going to go on my tombstone. Duh, right? So I had my daughter go through and she separated all my letters for me. I really think I need to find a different way to organize these because it's too hard to find them. So I'm going to probably figure out a way to put them in alphabetical order in like a case or something like that because, yeah, this took too long. So anyway, so I found RIP and I ended up, I was just going to leave them like that, but the color was too close to the color on the spackle. So yeah, that didn't work. So I ended up just painting the letters black and then hot gluing them onto the tomb. But you'll see here in just a second what I did. I'm getting ahead of myself, guys, as always. I'm getting ahead of myself, telling you what I'm doing before I'm even doing it. So here's my tomb. I know it's really bright, sorry, but Initially, oh, and I just took my little box cutter and cut off any of that excess tape that was on the sides. That's not spackle, that's the tape that was overhang from underneath there. And you can take that off. Once it's completely dry, you can take it off. I just decided to leave it on there. Now, I was going to like dry brush black over it, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I kind of liked the color. It was looking kind of gray once it dried. So then I was just going to stick the letters on there, and then you couldn't really see them because they were obviously so close in color. So then what I decided to do was, just like I said before, I painted the letters in black and then just hot glued them on there. I didn't even let them dry. I just painted them real quick and put them right back on there. So here we go. And guys, if you're coming over here from the playlist, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like what you see. And if you do, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, stick around, hit the notification bell so you can see more of the upcoming DIYs that I've got going on. I've got a bunch of collaborations coming up. I have monthly challenges that I do. And yeah, I just kind of do it all. Nothing's off limits. I do all types of stuff. So I hope you stick around. And if you're coming over here, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And again, be sure to hit the like button and check out the playlist. You are definitely going to be pleased and get so much inspiration because these ladies are super, super talented. And I know they've come up with some great stuff. I know we probably sent some weird items. I know my stuff was probably crazy. I usually just grab some stuff and throw it in a box. I don't even think about it. And then other times I'll put stuff in my boxes that I'm like, ooh, I could make this, 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 and this. And then when they get their boxes of the stuff that I sent, they come up with some completely different, ideas. So you just never know. I could have sent the same stuff in a box to the person that I sent my box to, and she would have come up with something completely different. So I just love doing these challenges. These are probably one of my favorite types of challenges to do, are swaps, because you just never ever know what they're going to do with the items. So be sure to check out the playlist and see who I sent my box to and what she did with the stuff that I sent her. All right, so what I'm doing now is trying to figure out what I'm doing. And then I didn't know whether I wanted this to be a wall hanging plaque or what, but because I couldn't stick that candle holder on there, I decided to make it a stand. So I just took this leftover piece from another like picture frame or whatever, and then I'm just going to sit that little box in front of it, just, as a light. I know that's not really, all that spectacular, but I thought it looked cute. And then I took one of these stickers and I put it on the top of the tomb here. And I'm like, you know what? I can do something with this little backing to the box. I'm like, why not? So I decided to make a little tiered tray decor piece with it. And it's really simple, what I'm doing with it. And I don't know why I showed you the candle, like you didn't see me putting it in there to begin with. But whatever. So then I decided to take this pumpkin. I don't know what I wanted to do with it just yet. And I didn't know whether I wanted to use the jack-o'-lantern or just one of these regular pumpkins. I don't know. I contemplated what I wanted to do. And I just wanted to make sure that I used everything and that, I made the best projects that I could. Like I said, I don't celebrate Halloween very, in that same way, like decorating and doing all that stuff. I'm more of just like a fall decor person. So I'm telling you, this was a challenge for me. This was a challenge. So when I took the pumpkin out of the bag, the polka dot one, I kind of knew what I wanted to do with it. So what I did was I took some of the leaves from the flower pick and I took the stick from one of the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins and I connected the leaves to the pumpkin that way. And I kind of went back and forth. Once I did it, I didn't really like the way it looked completely. And so I ended up switching it. So you'll see I'm going to do this and then I'm just kind of sit it to the side because I wasn't fully impressed by it. So I just took some hot glue, glued the leaves onto the bottom of the pumpkin so they didn't slide down. And yeah, I just kind of stuck them down there. And I kind of did them so that it looked fuller, because just with the, one set, it was like, eh. And so I took the other set, glued them on there so that it looked a little bit fuller. And then I kind of just stuck that on there. And again, I wasn't impressed. I was like, that's not what I was going for. So maybe I'll use this, maybe I won't. I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, because it just wasn't, I don't know. You'll see here what I end up doing with it. But I thought it was cute, and I was like, but something's missing. So, you kind of, this is how my DIYs go. So I stuck that in there. I was like, is that what I want? I needed something to kind of finish it off, and nothing was looking right to me. So again, I just kind of set it down and moved on to the next thing. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the little jack-o'-lantern foam pumpkin, and I cut that in half. And again, I'm making like a little tier trade piece. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this either. So I just decided to cut it in half, because I don't know why. Then as I was cutting, I was like, oh, okay, I think I know what I want to do now. Because initially I was just going to sit the pumpkin on top of that little box with the little candle in it. It just didn't look right. So I cut this in half, and then I decided to use the backing of it kind of as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a frame or a canvas or whatever. And so I put it on there, and I just hot glued it on there, like on the little ledge of it, because the little box, that backing has like a little ledge to it. So I just kind of sat the pumpkin on the ledge, hot glued it on there. And then I took one of the stickers, I think it says All Hallows Eve on it, if I'm not mistaken. And I just kind of put that on the top because I thought that'd be cute. And that was all I did to it. I was going to stick another sticker on there, but it looked too crowded. So I just ended up not putting it on there. But I think it was like a bat or a bird or something like that. And I put it on there, and I was like, that doesn't look right. So I took it off, threw it to the side, and moved on. So yeah, this was all I did with that. I thought that looked really cute. And again, I was just trying to use as many of these items as I possibly could, because if I could have, I would have put all of these in one project. Like everything would have been together in one project, but I couldn't get that done. But yeah, so I just made sure that the pumpkin was stuck on there, because, the hot glue kind of it melts the styrofoam, but it was on there, no problem. And I was still trying to like put more stuff on there. And then I looked at the flower, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Why can't I just put this on here? So I took the bottom of the flower, the little plastic piece that holds the pieces up, and I hot glued that on there. And I was like, okay, now it just looks finished. Like when it was just like this, it just didn't look right. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that to begin with? Why not just reassemble it the way that it was assembled to begin with? Duh, right? So I just put that on there, let it stick, and I think that looks cute. It's going to look cute in a vase, or if you have some kind of a floral arrangement, just to kind of add some Halloween into it. I think that is adorable. I love it. So there's that. Again, I got my little tier tray piece, and I'm trying to see what else I have here that I need to use. And then I remembered I had these lights. And guys, I still don't know what I'm doing with these lights, because I couldn't figure out like where they needed to go. So I just went ahead, put the batteries in there, and called it a day. I'll probably just put them on my tier tray or on the display wherever I display these at, because I just couldn't think of a way to use them. So I tried using everything. So I think I did okay. I think I did pretty good. So guys, be sure to check out the playlists. And again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. And that is it. That's all I did. And until next time, guys, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye.